A financial therapist in Chicago tracked 2,200 clients over 6 years. She wasn't studying their investments. She wasn't studying their salaries. She was studying their daily microbehaviors, the decisions that take under 5 minutes. The finding: the clients who built wealth and the clients who stayed broke earned almost identical incomes. The difference came down to 15 tiny behaviors, exposed repeatedly, compounding silently. And here's what stopped me cold. Habit number 11 has nothing to do with money, budgets, or investing. Yet the data shows it predicts net worth more accurately than income does. These are the 15 habits. And by the end, you'll understand why wealth was never about earning more. It was about behaving differently for 5 minutes a day. Here's something that will reframe everything you've been told about building wealth. A 2023 study from Duke University found that roughly 45% of daily human behavior isn't actually decided, it's automated. Habits, routines, defaults. That means nearly half your financial life is running on autopilot. And if the autopilot was never programmed for wealth, no amount of budgeting apps or investment tips will override it. The approach most people take, learn a strategy, try harder, stay disciplined, fails because it fights the autopilot instead of reprogramming it. What follows are 15 microhabits that reprogram the autopilot. Not one requires more than 10 minutes. Not one requires willpower. Each one is a system, a behavioral architecture that runs whether you feel motivated or not. Think of them as the source code. Install them and the outputs change on their own. Before you buy anything over $50, calculate what that money would be worth in 20 years. Not approximately, precisely. A $200 pair of sneakers, invested instead at an average annual return of 10%, becomes $1,345 in 2 decades. That $1,100 phone upgrade, it's an $7,400 future asset you're choosing not to own. This isn't about never buying things. It's about seeing the real price tag, not the number on the sticker, but the number you'll never have because of it. Behavioral economists call this temporal discounting. Your brain is hardwired to value present rewards over future ones. That's not a character flaw, that's a cognitive bias embedded in human evolution. But once you make the future number visible, the bias weakens, dramatically. The install is simple. Put a compound interest calculator on your phone's home screen. Before any non-essential purchase over $50, run the number. You don't have to say no. You just have to see the truth before you say yes. Spend 2 minutes each morning removing one friction point between you and a financial goal. Move your savings app to your home screen. Unsubscribe from one marketing email. Delete one shopping app. Log out of one account that triggers impulse spending. This sounds absurdly small, that's the point. A 2019 study published in the British Journal of Health Psychology found that reducing friction, even by seconds, increased follow-through rates by 31%. The wealthiest individuals don't rely on discipline. They engineer environments where the right choice is the easy choice. Every marketing email you unsubscribe from is one fewer engineered temptation per day. Over a year, that's 365 decision points removed. Every deleted shopping app is a purchase pathway eliminated. Tomorrow morning, do this. Pick up your phone, find one app that has cost you money in the last 30 days through impulse, and move it off your home screen. 2 minutes, done. Most people start their day consuming, scrolling news, checking social media, reading emails that contain someone else's agenda. Wealthy people disproportionately start their day producing. A 2024 productivity study by Stanford's BJ Fogg Lab found that just 20 minutes of creation-focused work before any consumption increased weekly productive output by 34%. Creation doesn't mean launching a business. It means writing 200 words of a blog post, recording a 2-minute video, sketching a product idea, drafting a client pitch, editing a photo for your side project. The distinction matters because creation builds assets. Consumption burns time. When you create something, even something imperfect, you're adding to your portfolio of capability. When you consume, the clock runs and nothing compounds. Here's the install. Set your alarm 20 minutes earlier than usual. For those 20 minutes, produce something, anything, before you open a single app. Not because you're a morning person, because the first action of your day programs the next 12 hours. Let me run a number most finance content will never show you. If you implemented just the first 3 habits alone, saved $150 a month from mindful purchasing, recovered 20 minutes of productive time daily, and reduced impulse spending by removing friction, and you invested that $150 monthly at a 10% average annual return. In 20 years, you'd have $114,000, not from a raise, not from an inheritance. From 3 decisions that take about 4 minutes each. Now imagine stacking 12 more on top. That's what's coming. Every Sunday evening, spend 8 minutes reviewing exactly 3 numbers. What you earned this week, what you spent, and the gap between them. That's it. No spreadsheet wizardry. No budget matrix. 3 numbers. A 2024 Charles Schwab Modern Wealth Survey found that people who regularly track their finances are twice as likely to feel financially stable, not because tracking changes the math, but because it changes the awareness. Most people's financial anxiety isn't caused by their actual situation. It's caused by the ambiguity. They don't know where they stand, and uncertainty breeds fear, which triggers either avoidance or emotional spending. When you know your three numbers every single week, you're making decisions from data instead of feelings. And data-driven financial decisions outperform emotional ones by a magnitude that compounds over years. Here's the install. Every Sunday at 7 p.m., open your banking app. Write down three numbers on your phone's notes app. Earned, spent, gap takes under 5 minutes. The habit isn't about budgeting. It's about installing financial self-awareness as a weekly default. Spend 10 minutes a day learning one skill that has market value, not passive consumption. Deliberate, structured skill building, a single online lesson, one tutorial, 10 minutes of practice on a tool your industry uses. According to Georgetown economist Brian Kaplan, the income premium for adding a single complementary skill to your existing expertise averages 12-25% over 5 years. That's not switching careers, that's adding one adjacent capability. A marketer who learns basic data analysis, a teacher who learns instructional design software, a developer who learns UX principles. This habit works because of what economists call skill complementarity. The value of two skills combined exceeds their individual values, and the compounding is exponential, not linear. Your third skill multiplies the value of your first two. Block 10 minutes during lunch, open one learning platform, complete one module, same time, same trigger every workday. In 1 year, that's 43 hours of deliberate skill building, enough to become genuinely competent in an entirely new domain. At the end of each day, write down the single most expensive decision you made, not in money, but in time or opportunity. The meeting you didn't need to attend, the project you said yes to out of guilt, the hour you spent comparing products you didn't buy. This habit leverages what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect, unfinished cognitive tasks loop in your brain until resolved. By writing down your costliest decision, you close the loop and you build a pattern recognition system. After 3 weeks, you'll start seeing your own decision-making blind spots in real time. A study from the Harvard Business Review found that professionals who performed daily reflection on their decisions improved performance by 23% over non-reflective peers. Not over years, over 10 weeks. 10 weeks of 5-minute reflections. Keep a single note on your phone titled Daily Decision Audit. Each night before bed, add one line, the costliest decision you made today. One line, that's the entire habit. Let me tell you about someone I'll call Marcus. He earned $58,000 a year as a logistics coordinator. Not a high income, not generational wealth territory. Over the course of 4 years, he installed 7 of the habits I'm describing in this video, not all at once, one at a time, roughly every 2 months. He didn't get promoted. He didn't launch a startup. He didn't receive an inheritance. But 4 years later, his net worth had increased by $94,000. When asked to explain it, he couldn't point to any single moment. There was no windfall, no breakthrough, just tiny decisions made consistently, compounding invisibly until the results became undeniable. That's the architecture. And the next 3 habits are the psychological engine that makes it work. Every morning, say one sentence to yourself out loud that begins with I am the kind of person who, and ends with a financial behavior. I am the kind of person who checks prices before buying. I am the kind of person who invests before spending. I am the kind of person who walks away from deals I don't need. This sounds simple to the point of absurdity. But James Clear's research on identity-based habit formation, confirmed by a 2021 study in the European Journal of Social Psychology, demonstrates that behavioral change rooted in identity is 3x more persistent than change rooted in outcome goals. When you say, I want to save $10,000, you're setting an external target your brain can abandon. When you say, I am a saver, you're redefining who you are. And humans are biologically wired to behave consistently with their self-concept. Write one I am the kind of person who sentence on a sticky note. Put it where you'll see it when you brush your teeth. Say it once, takes 4 seconds. Deliberately block one source of financial noise per week. Unfollow one account that triggers comparison spending. Mute one group chat that normalizes lifestyle inflation. Avoid one conversation about someone else's purchases. This is the habit most people resist, and the one that's most undervalued. A 2023 study from the University of Pennsylvania found that social media exposure to aspirational lifestyle content increased discretionary spending by 14% among users aged 20 to 45. That's not influence. That's a 14% invisible tax on your income, levied by an algorithm designed to make you feel inadequate. Wealthy people are ruthless about information hygiene, not because they're antisocial. Because they understand that every input shapes output. If your feed is full of luxury, your baseline for normal recalibrates upward, and a recalibrated baseline is the most expensive thing you'll never see on a bank statement. Once a week, say, every Monday, unfollow or mute one account, notification, or newsletter that makes you want to spend money you hadn't planned to. Set up an automatic transfer of a fixed percentage of every paycheck into an investment account before the money hits your spending account. Not a savings account, an investment account. The difference matters enormously over time. A 2025 Vanguard study found that investors who automated monthly contributions earned an average of 2.3% higher annual returns than those who invested manually, not because the investments were better, but because automation eliminated timing hesitation, emotional interference, and procrastination bias. Here's the math. If you automate just $200 a month starting at age 25, invested at a historical average 10% return, you'll have $1,296,000 by age 65. Not from luck, not from a six-figure salary, from $200 a month that you never had to think about. The psychological mechanism is called choice removal. When the transfer is automatic, there's no decision to make, and therefore no decision to skip. Open your banking app today, set a recurring transfer for the day after payday, start with whatever you can, even $50, increase it by 1% every 3 months. The automation does the rest. This habit alone, maintained consistently, has created more millionaires than any stock tip in history. If even one of these habits made you rethink how you approach money, consider subscribing, not for engagement metrics, because the next 6 habits are the ones that separate people who understand wealth from people who actually build it. And habit 11, the one I mentioned at the start, is coming up. This is where most advice tells you to keep a gratitude journal. That's fine, but here's the version that actually impacts your finances. Every evening, write down one thing you already own that brought you genuine satisfaction today. Not something new, something you already have, your comfortable bed, your reliable car, the coffee mug that fits perfectly in your hand. Why does this matter for wealth? Because the opposite of contentment is acquisition. A 2022 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that participants who practiced gratitude specifically for existing possessions reduced unplanned purchases by 19% over a 6-month period. 19%. That's the spending equivalent of a significant raise without earning a single additional dollar. The mechanism is called hedonic recalibration. Your brain constantly adjusts its happiness baseline upward, demanding more to feel the same. This habit manually resets the baseline every single day. The install, before sleep, write one sentence in your phone's notes. Today I valued something I already own. That's the entire practice. Have one financially honest conversation per week, not about budgets, about values. Ask your partner what financial security actually looks like to them. Ask a friend how they decided what their first investment would be. Ask a coworker how they negotiated their last raise and what they wish they'd said differently. Here's why this habit predicts wealth more than income. A 2024 study by Fidelity Investments found that couples who have regular financial conversations accumulate 50% more retirement savings than those who avoid the topic. Not because talking generates money, because talking eliminates the 3 wealth killers that silence enables: misaligned spending, unaddressed debt, and duplicate financial blind spots. Think about it. How many people do you know who earn well above average but have never spoken openly about money with the people closest to them? They're optimizing in isolation, and isolation has a compounding cost. Once a week, ask one person one open-ended money question. How do you think about saving? That's it, not advice, not comparison, curiosity. The conversations will teach you more than any book. I'll be honest, I resisted this next habit for almost 2 years. It felt unnecessary, soft, not a real financial strategy. Then I looked at my own data: 3 years of income, net worth, and spending tracked against when I finally adopted it. The correlation was impossible to ignore. My income grew faster, my impulsive spending dropped, and my decision quality measurably improved. If I'd started 2 years earlier, the compound difference would have been roughly $23,000. I'm sharing that because the next 3 habits don't feel like money habits, but the math says otherwise. Make your default answer to any new financial commitment, not yet instead of yes. New subscription, not yet. Upgrade offer, not yet. Limited time deal, not yet. This habit exploits a cognitive bias called the default effect. Research by Thaler and Sunstein, the architects of nudge theory, demonstrated that people overwhelmingly stick with whatever the default option is. Currently, your default is to say yes. Marketing is designed around this assumption. Flip the default to not yet, and you create a 24-hour buffer between stimulus and spending. In that buffer, 67% of impulse purchases evaporate on their own, according to a 2023 creditcards.com survey. You didn't exercise willpower, you just waited, and the desire dissolved. For the next 30 days, whenever a spending opportunity appears that you didn't plan for, say these exact words: "Not yet, I'll decide tomorrow." No justification needed. The phrase is the system. Once a month, evaluate the 5 people you spent the most time with, not to judge them, to audit the financial frequency you're absorbing. A study published in the National Bureau of Economic Research found that your spending patterns correlate more strongly with your social circle's spending than with your own income. Read that again. You are more likely to spend like your friends than like your paycheck. This isn't weakness. It's mirror neuron biology. Your brain literally synchronizes with the behaviors of those around you. Wealthy people don't just surround themselves with successful people, they're intentional about which behaviors they're exposing themselves to. A friend who casually drops $300 on dinner isn't bad, but if that's your weekly norm, you've unconsciously installed a spending baseline 5 to 10 times higher than you realize. Monthly, write down the 5 people you spent the most time with. Next to each name, note one financial behavior you've absorbed from them, positive or negative. Awareness alone changes the pattern. Once a month, place one small, calculated bet on yourself, not a financial gamble, a tiny investment in a potential income stream or skill that could pay off disproportionately. Spend $30 on a domain name for a project idea. Invest $15 in a course chapter. Spend an hour creating one piece of content about something you know well. Why monthly? Because the psychology of entrepreneurship is built on iteration, not perfection. A 2022 SBA study found that first-time business owners who started with sub-$500 experiments were 3.2x more likely to achieve profitability than those who spent months planning before launching. The compound effect here isn't financial, it's experiential. Every microbet teaches you something. After 12 months, you've conducted 12 experiments. Some will fail, some will surprise you, one might change your entire financial trajectory. The install, put a recurring calendar entry on the first of each month. Place one microbet on myself. Budget $50 maximum. The constraint forces creativity. This is the habit that unlocks every other habit on this list. And it's the simplest one of all. Every single day, make one decision, no matter how small, as if you're already the person you're trying to become. Not the person who wants to be wealthy, the person who already is. Choose the home-cooked meal not because you're trying to save, but because that's what you do. Decline the impulse purchase not because you're on a budget, but because it doesn't align with your values. Invest automatically not because an article told you to, but because investing is who you are. The distinction sounds semantic. It's not. Dr. Benjamin Hardy's research on identity-based change shows that people who adopt the identity first and the behavior second maintain habits at a 74% rate over 2 years. People who adopt the behavior first without the identity shift, below 15%, that's a 5-to-1 difference. This is why most financial advice fails. It tells you what to do, it never tells you who to be. And behavior without identity is a timer counting down to relapse. The 15 habits in this video are not a checklist. They're the behavioral fingerprint of a specific type of person. Someone who treats money as a tool, treats time as an asset, treats decisions as architecture, and treats identity as the foundation underneath everything. You don't need to install all 15 tomorrow. You need to install one and let it begin rewriting the code. Wealth isn't built in the moments you remember. It's built in the moments you don't, the 5-minute decisions that felt too small to matter but were quietly rearranging your entire financial future. Every habit on this list takes less time than scrolling through your phone for the 5th time today. The difference is that scrolling compounds into nothing. These habits compound into everything. Start with one, make it automatic, let it run. And in 6 months, when you look at your finances and something feels different, when the numbers are growing and you can't point to a windfall or a raise or a lucky break, you'll know exactly what happened. You installed the operating system, and it started running.